Hello, guys and gals. This is going to be a reading from Fables of Leonardo Da Vinci, and this is part 15. I can put that to the side now. But yeah, I basically keep a queue so that I can keep track of where I'm at in each series. And I'm making a push to get this read. This should take 3 more videos. I'll probably film them all tonight. Anyways, last time, or rather, we're going to go over the copyright information first. That's just, fair. Of course, these fables are actually written by Leonardo Da Vinci. They are interpreted and transcribed by Bruno Nardini, introduction by Margaret Meeks, which we did a video about. Illustrated by Adriana Savoisi Mazza. Okay. And let's go over what we went over last time. We're getting really near the end of the book. So I'm going to make a final push for this to get done. That way I can work on other series and have basically these if I need them. Okay, in the last one we read The Willow and the Pumpkin, The Elm and the Fig Tree, The Eagle, The Monkey and the Baby Bird, and The Willow and the Vine. So we read about a bunch of trees and stuff, and vines and stuff. We are going to start with the crab. I don't know much about crabs. But anyways. This is from Fable AR. And again, I don't know what AR stands for. But it's 42 on the reverse side. Okay, so this is the crab. I'm going to just pan the camera over here. A crab noticed that many little fishes, rather than venture out into the river, preferred to swim prudently round and round a rock. The water was as clear as the air, and the fishes swam peacefully, enjoying both sun and shade. The crab waited until night, and when he was sure no one would see him, he went and hid under the rock. From his hiding place, like an ogre in his den, he watched the little fishes, and when they had passed close to him, he seized them and ate them. This is not a nice thing you're doing, grumbled the rock, making use of me to kill these poor innocents. The crab did not even listen to the rock. Happy and contented, he went on catching little fishes, which tasted delicious. But one day there was an unexpected flood. The river swelled and crashed with great force into the rock, which rolled over into the riverbed, crushing the crab that hid underneath of it. This is similar to that poem from Lewis Carroll, How doth the little crocodile improve his shining tail by pouring the waters of the Nile o'er every golden scale. How cheerfully he seems to grin, how neatly spreads his claws, and welcomes little fishes in with gently smiling jaws. Except this was more insidious than that, surprisingly. Anyways, and I know that probably isn't right, but I was doing that from memory. There was a time when I had memorized that, but okay. This is The Wine and the Drunkard. It is from the fable Foster's. That's the Foster's Code 321R. Okay, Foster's is Paris, France. I do remember that. So this manuscript is in Paris, France currently, or when this was written. One evening, a peasant who had drunk more than he needed said to his wife, "Bring me another bottle." "It is the last," replied the wife, handing him the bottle. "If you drink this, there will be none left." "Good," exclaimed the peasant. "I want to finish off all the wine we have in the house. I want to put an end to it forever." And so he furiously gulped down one glass after another until the bottle was empty. The wine was offended and decided to have its revenge on the drinker. When the immoderate peasant went out into the farmyard to get a little air and cool the heat of his body, the wine made him stagger on his feet and sent him rolling into the mud. I guess that's it. I guess that it basically speaks to drinking in excess, I guess. Because I know that in some cultures, wine is like a staple, but this isn't about moderation, this is about excess. or having the wrong attitude about drinking the wine. I mean, in communion church, we use grape juice just basically because this community really isn't really into the whole liquor thing. Or I'm not, or my family wasn't, or anything like that. So I can't actually say I've actually had anything remotely alcoholic. Anyways, this one is called The Swift. I don't know which one is the Swift. I think it's probably that one. That looks like a red-winged blackbird kind of, but it probably isn't. It doesn't have red wings, so it probably isn't a red-winged blackbird. Anyways, this is from the legend in Constantia. That's a Humboldt code 10V, and I do know that the Humboldt code is also Paris, France. A library in Paris, France. Actually, the University of Paris. The swallow, with loud and noisy cries of joy, returned to her old nest. First she cleaned and tidied it and laid her eggs. Then she sat on them. Finally, when her children had been born, she began to fly backwards and forwards to and from the nest to feed her large family. The swift, on the other hand, simply flew all the time. She flew through the housework, and while her eggs were being hatched, and she was still flying every day from dawn to dusk without allowing herself a moment's rest. She flew through the housework, and while her eggs were being hatched, and she was still flying every day from dawn to dusk without allowing herself a moment's rest. Okay, so she just basically didn't stop. She kept going. This is starting to sound like the parable of Mary and Martha in the Bible. But anyways, that's fun. Why are you always flying? She was asked one day. Because I don't like work, she replied. Oh, is that it? It isn't really like that story at all. So this is saying the swift is basically doing everything fast because it doesn't like the work, and the swallow is doing everything slow because she did. Okay, I kind of get that. We are to the Cedar. Wait a minute, let me see how many that's been. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're already to 3. We'll only read 2 more of these. Some of these are going to be short. I have this planned out. So, anyways, the Cedar. Another one about a tree, which is good. This is from the Fable Atlantic Code, which is Biblioteca Ambrosiana in Milan, Italy. Page 70. The Cedar. Here. Once upon a time, there was a cedar that knew how beautiful it was. It stood in the very middle of the garden and was taller than all the other trees, and the absolutely symmetrical arrangement of its branches made it look like a great chandelier. Who knows what I should be like if I bore fruit, it thought. I should surely be the most beautiful tree in the world. So it began to watch the other trees and try to do as they did. And at last, at the very tip of the tree, there grew a beautiful fruit. Now I must feed it, said the cedar to itself. I must help it to grow. And the fruit began to grow and swell until it was too big. The crest of the cedar could bear its weight no longer and began to bend. And then the fruit, was ripe. The crest had been And when the fruit was ripe, the crest that had been the tree's pride and joy was left dangling like a broken branch. It exceeded its means. It's like buying too much and not having enough income to cover what you did. The birds and their instincts. I think this is where we're going to leave it off. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is going to be number 5. The birds and their instinct. This is from Legend Verita, Humboldt Code, which is Paris, France, page 8. The birds and their instinct. Once upon a time, there were two birds' nests in a garden. One was in a cypress, and the other was in an olive tree. One day, the bird who lived in the cypress stole an egg from the one who lived in the olive tree and added it to the eggs on which she was sitting. After a while, the eggs in both nests hatched, and the 2 birds became mothers. Their children grew and became covered with feathers, and at last came the great day of their first flight. One after the other, the baby birds from the olive tree flung themselves into space, fluttering around and returning happily to their nests. One after the other, the babies from the cypress tree flung themselves down and fluttered around the garden, but one of them, instead of going back to the cypress tree, flew to the nest in the olive tree. It was the bird from the stolen egg, instinctively returning to its real mother. That's brilliant. And I know this is probably going to be a short episode, but I'm going to end it here. I have this planned out. There are exactly 10 stories left after this, and we will do 5 each. Anyways, we have been reading from the Fables of Leonardo Da Vinci. This was part 15. If you like this content, make sure you like and subscribe, and that you ring the bell so you know when I upload. Also, I appreciate any and all support. All that information will be in the description below. And as always, thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great day.